to the latest episode of the Crafty Boys, where a bunch of dudes who like each other drink beer and talk about stuff. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's about the summary of our show. This is the last show of 2021. I had to think about that for a second. So other than that, how's it going, boys?
That's going all right.
Good. Did everybody have a good Christmas?
Totally.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, insofar as Christmases are good, I was thinking about introductory lines to the new Charles Dickens. What would he write? It was a long and painful Christmas.
Everybody self-isolated by the chimney with care.
Yeah, totally. Huh? Like, what the hell? How? What self-isolating have you been doing, everybody? If any.
Self-isolating. Well, let me see. Beer in the fridge. Beer in the fridge.
Yeah, the isolation has been limited to the beer. That is true. I haven't gone anywhere for so long, and this December I've actually done some traveling, and I went to Costco today.
Crazy.
Does that count?
I wouldn't go to Costco even if there wasn't a pandemic. That's how much I hate Costco.
Well, it
Are
was
you a
exciting.
Walmart shopper?
No. So I don't know. Apparently,
clarify.
Apparently, the Costco here in Victoria is like insanely busy compared to other Costcos. Like when I go into Costco here, I want to punch people. It's that bad, and I can't wait to get out. And it got to be the point where I just said, you know what, fuck it, let's let the membership expire. I'm done with Costco.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
I'm
just-
lucky
it's
in
so
Vancouver.
stressful.
I have a choice of 2 or 3. Do I have 3? Yeah, 3. If I wanted to drive out to the boondocks, and like whatever the hell, that place out in the, I don't know, Dave lived out there briefly with some girl, Langley. What is it, Langley? What is out there, Dave? You know more than I do.
Actually, I don't know where it would be in Langley. I mean, I'm guessing it's there, but I'm hopeless with Vancouver. So, hey,
I don't know. There could be something out
Where's
there.
Langley as compared to Burnaby?
sorry, what?
Where's Langley as compared to Burnaby?
Oh,
Farther.
Burnaby would be southwest. Is that right, Shane?
Yes.
I think so.
Basically, you drive. It's like you're almost at Hope. You're about 2/3.
Okay, yeah, right. So you can smell the abattoirs.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad. So you don't want to go out there too often because you could get sucked into some hippie commune or something, and
Totally.
you're lost after that. But let's skip to beer. What are we talking about? What beer have we got? Because we have beer.
Oh, no. I have
let's
just
start with
cleansed my
luck.
palate. Let me start this off because I want to.
You just cleansed your palate. Oh, this is good news.
So, the Monkeys, who that I like, have done something seasonal.
The Flying Monkeys Brewery.
Yeah.
Just want to be clear on what
not
monkeys
not
you
as
like.
in like hey
It's
we're the monkeys.
Barrie, Ontario.
Okay.
So hey, we're the monkeys. So the Chocolate Manifesto.
Okay.
3 chocolate milk stout. 10% alcohol per volume.
Holy Moses!
A sweet declaration.
Wow.
Flying Monkey Brewing proclaimed through chocolate and beer. Extra strong beer. Always brewed in Canada. Until they're not.
Always brewed in Canada until not.
Post-COVID are going to get invited over to the Witherspoon's International Brewers Fest in England. I think that
Nice.
will happen.
That would be
I suspect it to be so. So let me see. There is lactose in this, so it's not vegan. So this isn't vegan beer. Lactose sweetness gives the Manifesto a heavenly body of milk stout, an indulgence we crave in chocolate. Drink life to the lees. To the lees? Drink life to the lees, right? Because evidently we're in Scotland again. Save the earth, the only planet with chocolate and beer. The Chocolate Manifesto is a luxurious statement, decidedly unfrivolous indulgence of blending artisan chocolate and craft beer, brewed to definitive statement on chocolate and beer, loved by all, that it's a magic number. Right, beer, 99.
a magic rumba? What?
A number, a numeral, a quantity. What the fuck is it?
Is it on there somewhere? I can't see.
It's on the tin. That's why I read it that way.
That is a 99? No, 99.
So evidently, Wayne Gretzky has done something to implant his magic upon the chocolate that goes into this beer.
Huh.
I'm
Or
impressed.
something like that.
What can't he do? I mean, when you really think about it.
3 kinds of chocolate, it says.
Well, it's
Oh,
interesting because doesn't Wayne Gretzky have his own brand of beer?
Back the fuck up. 3 kinds of chocolate. Forest Garden, shade-grown cocoa nibs, roasted whole cocoa powder, and chocolate malt. Fuck shit. Shane, I'm going to need a pair of your close-up spectacles because I can't fucking read. No,
Age is correct.
that kind of malt. No, not that kind of malt. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
All right.
Apparently, I could read it. I just needed to squint more. Don't drink it during pregnancy. Well, anyway, I think we've exhausted that number. Let's find it. Finally, try it out. Let's find out is this any good? What does it taste like?
I mean, that's the most important part. Is it going to taste
Oh my God.
at all like what we
Before I
expect?
can tell you what it tastes like, I have to tell you how it smells because I can smell the chocolate from
Oh,
it's like somebody unwrapped, broke open an Aero bar and rubbed it inside my nostrils.
nice.
Christ's sake, Quick has got nothing on this.
Really?
Can you hold it up to the camera there? Like, it looks kind of milky.
Well,
Or is that just
no?
Or is it just got a big head on it?
No, it's not just the head. It's in the same glasses that I used for the UVB.
Oh, I see. Okay.
But as you can very obviously clearly see here, when I hold the light directly to it and try to shine it through, the fucking thing's impenetrable.
Right.
Yeah. So this is I was not sure how I would feel about this because, well, I knew I would like the fact that it's 10% alcohol per volume. And I do like me some chocolate. I'm not one of those people that doesn't like chocolate.
Yeah.
But
do you like it in a beer?
I tend to go for more bitter chocolate than milk chocolate.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that I don't like milk chocolate. This is like chocolate compounded with chocolate driving through it. This is insanely chocolatey.
So do you like it?
Wow.
It all comes down to the finish. because if the finish left that sort of nagging, sort of, that feeling you get at the back of your mouth when you just ate something sugary, and now it wants something else to counteract its. I'm not getting that. This is a fairly silent finish on what is otherwise
Has
radical,
there been
radical hot chocolate, except for that it's not chocolate and it's beer.
that is good to hear, actually, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like that is something where I think Alan, you and I were talking about this earlier. At least I brought it up anyway, about how we hit a couple of beers in the space case where they're actually quite good and they actually taste like what they say they are, which is a difficult thing. But I'm going to bounce over here to Dave. Dave, tell me what it is that you're drinking this particular evening.
Right. Well, I got this. Managed to dig this up. Bit of weirdness.
Island soda.
Sugar,
Tell us about that. I'm kind of curious.
Grace. Well, okay. So I found this in the international aisle at Wally World. And I was figuring import, but I mean, why would you bother? So it turns out, and actually learned this from Locke, that this does in fact originate in the Caribbean, but this, I'm assuming they just imported the recipe and had somebody do it up for them, because it's this Grace brand stuff. But
Right.
I have no idea exactly, what their deal is or anything. I guess they're, if I was hearing you right, Locke, they're the equivalent of like Kraft Corporation. They've got a whole bunch of food brands that they do.
Yeah. A lot of hot sauces.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, this is billed as an island soda, or I guess that's actually the brand Island Soda with, now made with cane sugar, and it is famous Island Soda. And they call it cola. I don't know if you can read that. Nah. Oh, there we get a little bit of focus there. Cola champagne is what they call this one.
Oh.
And
the champagne of colas.
Indeed. And it's got the Tertrazine to prove it.
Right. So, what's the verdict on it?
I don't know. It's okay.
Does it taste like cola?
No.
Does it taste like champagne with cola in it?
Neither. I wonder if they use cola nuts in it, which is why they call it that. I don't know. Cola nuts, is that a thing?
I don't know.
Sure.
What does cola come from?
Cola has nuts now?
What? Cola nuts sounds right. Yeah.
All right.
Well, if it is a thing, it ain't a thing in here.
Okay.
Carbonated water, cane sugar, natural artificial flavors, stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but this actually interestingly, okay, this is bottled for Grace Foods Canada back in Ontario.
Mm-hmm. Sounds right.
Deal is here. Yeah. So
all right. Now look, so unsurprising to me that Grace has a manufacturer here in Ontario. Huge Jamaican population in Ontario. As far as Grace Pops go, my favorite is the grapefruit one. I go for the grapefruit one like crazy. It's what I normally get when I'm, eating, Trini rotis or, any of that kind of thing. But yeah, so in terms of how do you happen to know how? Like, did you get this? You got this in the import aisle, eh?
Yep.
Was that the only kind they had in the aisle, or did they have?
No. When you're saying grapefruit, I'm like, seem to recall something that was grapefruity sitting
They got
there.
a grapefruit one. They got a pineapple one too.
Right.
Both of which are good. I like the grapefruit one best. But
okay, I'll have to check them out. Yeah, this one is. It's kind of medicinal. Right?
Is that a good thing?
No, I would say not.
Well, not. I don't usually, check the goodness box on that kind of thing. This is more like what we would just call a cream soda, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a lot different. And the fact it's got Tertrazine in it.
Yeah.
That's like, I think.
But the cola is also cursed.
But you get your choice of toppings.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, essentially, I hope you don't get 75 forms of horrible diseases after drinking that. So thanks for taking one for the team, man. That's really good.
Always. No, I just find it interesting because I believe Tertrazine is considered one of the worst offenders when it comes to color.
How do you spell it?
But it could be wrong. Tertrazine, Tartrazine. Let me double check that.
Tertrazine.
Yeah, Tartra zine.
Okay, so let's see. It's a synthetic dye. It is the second most used food coloring agent. It is let's see, what else to say here? So it says commonly used all over the world, mainly for the color yellow, sometimes for brilliant, strong blues. Also used to produce some shades of green. Desserts, beverages, snacks, condiments, liquid soaps, nail polish. It's used in everything. Medications as well, vitamins, antacids.
it's a relief to know that the same thing that can turn your food bright yellow can also turn it blue.
Yeah, so potential health effects on humans. Here we go. Sensitivity. So some people could be allergic to it. That seems to be the most common thing that happens, which is not unusual for color additives and things like that. So basically, they're saying that about 0.12% of the population, so not a huge margin. You can also cause asthma symptoms to worsen. It could also cause you to develop ADHD behavior-like stuff. Yet this is yet to be proven.
Isn't it also carcinogenic?
In a 2015 study found that yellow number 5 caused damage to white blood cells, which may make the development of tumors and diseases more likely. Also, that it might cause kidney tumors. Wonderful. I'm going to stop eating tomorrow.
So I'm going to say that this is actually a major ingredient in Kraft dinner. So I've had this stuff throughout my body. Like my body is probably like 100% Tertrazine from my childhood. So
yeah, exactly. Same here. I mean, this is the thing. We're reading all these things now, but ultimately, none of us gets out of life alive. So there you go.
So my only disappointment,
especially with this camera, what is going on with me?
Sadly, was the blue Kraft dinner, which anyway.
That's just brutal.
So Shane, your beard blends in with your shirt. You basically have like an upper part of your head, and that's it.
As time is going on, this camera seems to be getting worse and worse.
Going backwards to the 1970s, where Shane is clearly. This isn't even the 70s.
The only thing you need, Shane, is like wood paneling on the.
We're getting a broadcast from 1968, which naturally is where Shane's parents' house lives.
It's a couple of schmucks on a Davenport.
It totally wasn't this bad like when we started. I don't think.
What are you talking about bad? This good. This is rad. I'm fucking loving this. Thank you.
And next, I'll just be like a black smudge on the screen.
Crafty,
So Alan,
Crafty the retro generation.
That's right. That's totally right. I have a permanent bandana now. Alan, we actually had the same beer. So Alan recommended this to me yesterday, so I popped out to the local beer store.
Well, I didn't really recommend
Actually,
it.
you can't even read the can, so never mind. Alan, what the hell's the beer?
Okay, so it's from Phillips. It is their Eclipse Black Velvet Stout. It comes in at 4.5%. What do we got on here?
Water, barley, hops, yeast, and flaked potato.
Yeah, there isn't really much information on here. It's a stout. It's a stout.
Hang on. This is what it says on the side of the can. Golden ratios in perfect alignment, cloaked in a lunar shadow and hidden from the sun. Eclipse Smooth Stout delivers a dark roast coffee aroma and a silky bittersweet chocolate malt forward profile that is deep and complex but sits in light and dry on the palate. Savor the moment and sip an eclipse on the dark side of the moon. So there you go. I'm going to open this baby up. I'm kind of nervous about opening this.
So I've already poured mine. This is it here.
Oh my lord.
Very very dark. I'm holding it up to the light here. I can't see through it. It's light doesn't escape it. It's got a really nice head. It's not overly thick, but the lacing on the glass is nice. And overall, the presentation is very good. Smells like a stout.
Smells like a stout. It tastes like barbecued coffee.
Yeah, kind of. I was going to say it tastes like a stout.
It does taste like a stout. It definitely has not barbecue, but the coffee flavor to me feels very much like a really dark, almost burned kind of quality, but not a bad thing. You know, does that make any sense?
Yeah,
we talking like a Danish roast.
Yeah, exactly. A Danish roast. Yeah, that'll go with that.
I'm gonna say that this tastes like a sweeter version of Guinness. What do you think, Shane? Shane, do you agree? Are you still there?
I'm still here. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a very good. I gotta say I think this camera is actually dying. I just realized it has this spot on the bottom corner, and I think this thing is actually on its way out. I think that's what's going on, and we're gonna use it until it I'm like vanishing. I'm totally vanishing.
I would go looking for that technology about to fail so that I could get that effect. That is fucking genius.
Yeah, like because if I cover it up, you still see this big white
sort
of thing. I think that must be a light leak in the camera somewhere.
So Shane, do you like this beer?
I like this beer. It's not something I'd scream about on the top of a mountain, but it's worth it. It's worth a pint. I mean, I went to the liquor store and I saw a lot of stuff I thought I might be more interested in, but I thought I'd give this a whirl. But definitely not something I would really want to go for.
Yeah.
Overall, thumbs up. I mean, I got to say that Phillips, for the past little while, has been actually giving us some really good product. And I keep looking at myself and I just keep chuckling now. So, yeah, I think it's something that we should definitely say nice things about. But I'm not going to scream for people to go out and buy it immediately.
Yeah, no. It's a good beer, but don't rush out to get it. Yeah, so that's it. Do you want to keep going, Shane? Or
I was waiting for someone to jump in with like, yeah, that's totally blah blah blah. But now that Christmas is done, now that we've actually had the holiday explosion of joygasm everywhere, what do you guys feel? How is this week between Christmas Day and New Year's Day? How does that normally work for you guys?
Normally or this year?
Well, normally, what is your sort of thing? Do you like, generally speaking, do people go back to work? Do people take time off? Like, I tend to take time off during this time anyway, just because that's who I am. But I don't know. What about your? It sounds like your week has been very different, though.
Well, it's been different this year only insofar as all of the closing stuff that would have happened before Christmas is now happening between Christmas and New Year's. So yeah, so it's basically been like Christmas, Boxing Day, okay, working, work. You know, like it's just, you know, holiday is not really a thing right now. There's a little bit of transactional commerce. You know, I exchanged a sweater today. But beyond that, yeah, mostly it's back to work. Yeah, so this year it's which is actually a bit of a mercy because I want to be honest, you know, what generally happens, well, not very much. Usually, I lick my wounds a little bit and try to figure out what the hell but it's. I would say, yeah, this year's been strikingly forward-looking.
Right.
Yeah, it's all clearing up end of year stuff before the end of the year instead of
right.
about a week after the end of the year.
That totally makes sense. I mean, it's got to be. I don't know. I find that during this time, I kind of do stuff that I would never normally do. Like for the past few days, I've actually been building my family tree. My mother has purchased the a subscription to the Ancestry website thing.
Oh, cool!
So I've been going back in time, and I like on my mother's side and my father's side, there's some lines that I can go back to like 16 whatever in England.
Wow!
Primarily, so it's been pretty interesting. I think the
Are
oldest,
you royalty?
Not yet, but
Not yet.
I only just started. But I don't know. It's stuff like that. Things that I would not normally like in the middle of June. I would not sit down and go, you know what? I'm going to research my family. No, I totally wouldn't do that. It's the holiday stuff where I'm trying to avoid doing any work. Unless I really, really have to, because I normally work all the time. So I try to do something unique. So I don't know. It's just something that I kind of do. I did it a bit last year as well. But what about you guys? Do you guys do anything like completely out of character or weird or?
Yeah, I took some days off.
Yeah.
For me, it's this year has been the opposite of what Locke's experiencing, actually.
Yeah.
Because in the past, it has pretty much been okay. Boxing Day, Christmas Day, and then it's back to work.
Right.
But this year actually finagled this week off, and it's been pretty sweet. Enjoying and thinking about having to go back to work next week. Not enjoying that thought, but this.
Well, I don't think anybody does. What about you, Alan? Did you take some time off this week? I think you did, yeah.
Yeah. So I've been off since Christmas Eve. I worked until the end of my shift, and then I've been off since then. But today is officially my first vacation day, and I got tomorrow and Friday as well, and then I go back to work on Tuesday.
Nice.
So yeah, it's cool. I haven't done anything different. Mostly been lollygagging around the house. We've been getting some snow here, which is a little bit out of character for this area. So I've been doing some shoveling and salting, and had to go
same here.
Take my mom out grocery shopping today and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it started snowing on Christmas Eve,
What
I
was, the,
think.
what was the really stupid snowstorm that we got? What was that, 96?
It was 96. This is the 25th
1996, 25th
anniversary.
anniversary. People have been talking about it quite a lot since it started snowing.
Let's face it. Let's not kid ourselves. People talk about it every single year since it
Well,
happened.
yeah, okay, this is true.
Yeah.
But since it started, I mean, I don't remember the last time there was snow on Christmas Eve in Victoria. It's been a while.
Ever. I think this was my first white Christmas.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, what about you living up in the Tules there, Dave? Was the snow situation different around? Like, I'm up island. I mean, I couldn't tell you if there was more snow there or not.
It is a little. I mean, where I grew up, we're pretty close to the shoreline. You just can't see it, so it, keeps things a little warmer. Snow, not quite so light and fluffy. Not Alberta snow, as my lady puts it, which is what I don't know. It's been like at your place, Alan, but or for you, Shane, in Vancouver, but it's been light stuff, and it stayed that way. Like even today, cleared my car off a bit, and it's still powder.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit, this never happens.
You can't make a snowball with it. It just
No.
it just falls apart.
Yeah. I was at the museum yesterday to see the third floor before they tear it apart in January. And
What?
Oh no!
Oh
no!
Right, you don't know. Oh, of course. So a couple of weeks ago, the new CEO of the Royal British Columbia Museum put out a press release to state that they were going to decolonize the museum, and they wanted to. And so to start that process, as of December 9th to January 2nd, they have started closing down sections of the third floor, which is the human history section. And they are basically
the old town and stuff.
The old town, the ship,
the ship,
the longhouse, and a bunch of other stuff. And they're packing it all up and putting it into storage to decolonize and reimagine the third floor. To which a lot of people, including some of the local bands, the Chiefs, are like, "You're sorry, you're what?" Because they're claiming in the press release, they claim they've been consulting with local bands about this for a while, and a lot of the bands are like, "No, you haven't. We have. What are you talking about?" Like, so I don't know what the hell's going on. The Peanut Gallery, however, she stated just today that she said, it sounds a lot like, due to the sort of social climate that we've been going through for the past couple of years, especially in the this last year, that they want to score some political points somewhere.
Well, they've just lost a bunch.
Well,
sake. Oh my god.
That's the problem, is that a lot of them have been.
The whole point of a museum is you leave it the fuck alone.
Well, this is the thing: is that the chief of the Sartlip band was, I think, the most vocal in the news lately. Wanting to say, what isn't there context? Like, can you actually use the same museum to tell a different story? Like how this impacted the indigenous peoples of the province and yada yada yada. And bring context. Yes, these things exist.
Like you can clearly identify one story coherent through a whole bunch of diverse peoples who didn't really have much in common with each other except for the times when they enslaved each other, and
there's that.
And take all of that and try to cook up something that's going to make coherent, peaceful sense in this today and age, and fucking everybody's going to have a feel-good Disney moment. Fuck off.
I have
That's
a feeling.
Not gonna happen.
I have a very strong feeling that when they reimagine the third floor, it's going to wind up being extremely similar to the third floor that we have known and loved for the past 40 years or whatever it's been. I think it's going to be largely the same. What I kind of took from it, also on the third floor, is the indigenous people's exhibits with a lot of artifacts from there, like masks and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah,
I can
and you
see.
can make up alternative histories as to how those were obtained.
Well, no. What I was suggesting is that they may want to sort of like give those. I don't know how the museum acquired those things, but they may want to
It's an
give them
interesting
back.
question, isn't it? And the point being that many of the reason that those things are in the collection in the first place is because they were gifted as such.
Were they?
And so then to turn around and gift them back, what the fuck is that supposed to mean?
Yeah, there is signage.
And the problem is generation to generation. There's not always continuous agreement within the bands generation to generation as to what the status of any of these things are. And frankly, at any moment, at any time, you can use whatever you want for political gain because that's what politics are.
Yeah. I highly suspect that these things were not gifted to the Royal BC Museum.
Yeah.
I have a feeling a lot of that stuff
Okay,
was
you
just
have
appropriated.
Do you have any evidence?
No, I have no evidence of that, but do you have evidence that they were gifted?
Yeah, the signage.
Well, it was standard practice. It was standard practice with museums within the Commonwealth around the world most of the time for the hundreds of years. So there's that.
Okay, all right.
Well, I was just going to say the signs that are on a lot of the stuff at the museum when I was there actually state who gave what to whom and how they got there.
Oh,
so
okay.
there is that. I think it's a very poor statement to say that they were just a bunch of white dudes walked into a village and started ripping people off and stuff like that. So,
yeah.
Which did happen at some point, many times. But
yes.
I think that museums have already gone through the process of
but as you
things,
said,
so.
Shane, you said, I don't know how you got this information, but you said that the stuff that's being taken out of the third floor is being put into storage and being left intact, which tells me that they're going to use it again.
They're going to be
That's
cataloging it
and
and putting it into storage.
Means. If you know anything about museums, you know that put in storage does not necessarily mean anybody will ever see it again.
No, that is true. I mean, there's
the British Museum has above ground there are 4 stories. Below ground there are 8, and it's chock a block of stuff that nobody will ever see. Because
exactly, because they're not necessarily.
Why is it that in the legislature building of British Columbia, which ultimately for its period had a narrative of inclusion and diversity, but regrettably depicted the natives as naked, which they didn't do historically, so wrong. So factually wrong, so covered up, not destroyed, just nobody will ever see it again.
Which is unfortunate, but also
which to me is doubly unfortunate because if you're not going to ever see it again, at least do us the credit of fucking destroying it. What painting somebody naked when they should have been wearing clothes is an indelible crime against history that must be remembered for all generations so that we can remain embittered forever. Why?
So I want to give you guys a different, like, I'm on 2 sides here. The third floor of the Royal BC Museum, I mean, I remember that from my childhood. And of course, I've seen it many times over the years.
Insofar as I have respect for Indigenous culture, that's where I learned it.
Right. Well, I mean, not just that, but I mean, like the old town, the movie theater there and the train station and all that kind of stuff. Like it's in here, right? And I'll miss it. But at the same time, I've seen it, I don't know how many times, like hundreds of times. And I'm kind of I'm ready to see something different. I'm ready to see something new.
Well, I would agree because when I was there, I did, I remembered a ton of the exhibits, like I just gone through them like the week before. And there was definitely a lot of nostalgic moments and that kind of stuff. But on the other side of the coin, it definitely has been. It hasn't changed. Like nothing is. There have been a few updates. There, like for example, if you walk through, specifically the First People section, there's a lot more video. Like there's a bunch of video panels that actually have additional information, and you have people from local tribes that are talking about different things and that kind of stuff. So that was kind of cool, and I enjoyed that because it gave you more context because you're looking at these static photos that you've seen since you were 10. Actually, I believe a lot of this stuff was built more than 50 years ago. So it actually is older than all of us here. So, you know, I have been there a bazillion times over the years, and it's just a lot of it's never changed. A lot of the natural history stuff, I remember, again, like it was last week that I went through it, just because it hasn't done any changing at all. Like there's nothing going on. Like you can tell that LED lights are being used rather than incandescent, and you can tell that the sound is a bit better because the speakers are updated or whatever. But ultimately, the actual displays are just the same as they've ever have been. And I kind of support a museum that looks at their stuff and goes, you know what, we could do this better now. How about we take, because they're doing this, they are saying it's going to be gone for at least 5 years. That they're going to be redoing whatever they're going to do with that.
Oh, really? That long?
Oh, yeah. They said they're taking 5 years.
Oh, so it's also an opportunity for graft. That's good to know.
So yeah, I mean, I want to say good on them. I hope they do something cool, but I don't really. The nostalgic factor only took me so far, and I started to kind of look at it.
I think
in a way,
I think they're confused about the purpose of a museum.
Possibly, yeah. This is true.
I tell you what I miss about the museum. I don't know if you guys remember this because it's been gone for a long time. But the first floor,
yeah, the first
right in the lobby. Remember, you came in and there was like that waterfall.
Yeah,
that was right inside. And there was like a float plane hanging from the ceiling. They removed all of that when they when they rebuilt that lobby area with the ticket.
I know. Don't remind me.
Yeah, I miss that. I miss that stuff. I would love to see that return in some way.
Yeah, so would I. I mean, there's definitely some things that
if you don't track what you used to think, how does thinking something new make any difference? And how do you know how it's relevant that you think something new or different, right? Like, by all means, build a new museum. If you want more information, build a new museum. Renovating the old museum it's not that kind of project. It's sort of like, do you remember back in the age when the cola business got into film with the idea that it's all just market share, and so it doesn't matter what the plot is, you just fucking do the same thing over and over because it's just market share, right? Going into museums and thinking that you can make a better world by changing the message of the museum that's not what museums do. That's not the purpose. That's not what they're for. They're for recording where you were, not targeting where you're going. You want to target where people are going, do that. Do it purposefully, do it directly. Don't do it by fucking tearing down museums. This is a very fucking Henry VIII kind of moment. This is Henry VIII gutting the libraries, going, look at what we can save. Oh, look, no, but no, it's humanist, right? You know, that's all the monasteries. That's old shit. We don't need that anymore. That's all medieval. We'll just do it new, and we'll just burn all those fucking libraries and fuck all those old books. What do they say? A bunch of old shit.
I wasn't aware that he was a book burner.
Yeah.
What do you think the dissolution of the monasteries was?
Yeah, true.
I thought Henry VIII was a beef sandwich.
That too.
Well,
I wouldn't want to, misguide people into thinking there wasn't also a beef sandwich.
I learned that from the Georgia Dragon. It was always a beef dip to me, but on the menu at the Georgia Dragon, it was called a Henry VIII. And that was the only place I'd ever seen it called that.
Well,
they used actual virgin heads.
Yeah. You know what we should bring back is the Georgia Dragon.
Fucking A.
That would be cool.
I miss that
very
place.
Cool. It would be kind of an epic thing to be able to pull off, I have to say.
Shane, I think your camera's getting better.
Is it?
Oh no, you just closed off the window.
Better.
Oh no, I was looking at George.
Reflection of the light off of the. No, okay, no, maybe not.
Hang on, no, wait. Let me bring up a panel here. I was actually looking up pictures of trying to find first floor photos of the museum.
You can't find them. I looked for them for ages.
I'm striking out.
Yeah,
but yeah, it is giving me a bit more light, I guess.
Because it's been out since like the 80s, late 80s, I think. As soon as it wasn't free to go into the museum anymore, as soon as they instituted a pay per entry thing, that first floor exhibit was gone.
It's funny you say that because when I was there, I heard that the IMAX was sold by National Geographic to the museum. So just this year, like in the last couple of months. I didn't actually know that it wasn't part of the BC Museum. It was still owned by National Geographic when they built it ages ago. But at the same time, I was trying to remember that where the IMAX sits. Is that the same? Or was that an outdoor location? They just built the IMAX there, or was it part of the? So it was brand new building.
It was brand new.
Okay, because I was trying to remember
when you walk in and sort of like where the ticket booths are, where they're selling, that's all brand new as well.
Okay. So I was trying to remember if they had just repurposed for a theater or if they had actually built something new. So if they built something new, then.
So when you walk into the front doors and you see the ticket booths right in front of you, and then there's a door off to the left here, that used to be the main entrance.
Okay. So they added on quite a bit, including where the escalators are and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the escalator wasn't how you got up to the second floor wasn't that way.
Wonder how it was. How did we get up there before?
You went in off to the left. So you go in those doors, and that's where they had the first floor exhibit. And then if you walk through, there was a set of just regular stairs that you walked up to get to the second floor. And I think there was an elevator there as well.
I'm actually, one of the things I did notice that in Old Town and in a couple other spots, they actually had installed like small elevators for people in wheelchairs and things.
Yeah.
Which was kind of amusing to me because I thought, did they take something out? What was here?
Well, they did make some changes because remember, one of my favorite exhibits there was, and they still have the video there, but it's a scaled down version. But it was a film that was narrated by Chief Dan George, which showed like very, very old footage of a canoe landing on a beach. And it used to be sort of like they would have like these benches around in a circle, and the screen was sort of like in the middle, but there was panels around, and there would be different images projected onto those panels, but it was like this huge room. And now it's just like this one little corner thing where they got like a video screen and they show that video on it.
Yeah,
and that's it.
I sort of know what you mean. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. I really like that exhibit, and that exhibit's been long gone. Well, it's not gone. They just scaled it down to make room for other things, I guess. So,
Yeah. I was just trying to find because they actually have some of the videos. The one thing I was kind of sad about, which I knew was already been taken out, was taken out years ago, is the submarine thing.
Oh,
Remember that where you got into
Yeah.
a submarine?
Yeah. But that showed up relatively late in the game. That was 90s
did.
that showed up.
Yeah, no, exactly. But that's also gone now as well. It's been
Yeah, it's too
replaced with
bad.
something.
It was good. Yeah,
I enjoyed that one because I actually found the video on YouTube. I don't know,
Cool.
a while ago.
Oh, really?
The whole Bathysphere thing.
Yeah. That was super exciting.
It was just kind of cool, but I just have not been able. I've actually been looking for it right now, but I don't see it anywhere. Oh, wait a minute. He says that and he hits the next button. Here we go. So yeah, it is here. So it looks like.
Wasn't that
divers
like
to
a
explore
Robert
the open-
Ballard thing? Or am I thinking of something else?
You're thinking of something else.
Okay.
Hang on, let me see if I can share this to the screen here just to show it off here. Apparently I'm not allowed to share screens. Oh, okay, there we go. It's a bit odd. Here we go. So here's the video. This thing here.
Out of Victoria Harbour in Canada, aboard the seagoing barge Alexander, scientists and sailors prepare for an ocean voyage where no living person has gone before. A half-mile under the waves. Here's the man who will take the plunge. Noted biologist, author, and scientist, Dr. Alfred Latimer. And here's what he expects to dive in.
Oh, man.
A 5,000-pound steel bubble. Equipped with the most modern scientific apparatus, the steel walls of the diving bell are 1.5 inches thick. One flaw in the steel, and under the great pressures of the ocean, the walls would crack like a walnut. Dr. Latimer's steel bubble or bathysphere will sink through layers or zones of the ocean. Mrs. Norma Hampton, the expedition secretary, describes the first part of the dive.
The bathysphere will pass through the surface zone, the thin top layer of the ocean. The surface zone is mostly clear, lighted by the sun, relatively warm. Most of what we know about the ocean comes from here. Most familiar fish, for example, are surface zone animals. But no one's...
Anyway, this thing is like 11 minutes long. I
Yeah.
just thought I would, there's a taste of it anyway.
For a little taste, yeah. Very
So
But,
my question is that film, was that specifically made for the exhibit at the museum and made to look like it was from
Yes,
like the 40s?
yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because as you watch it, there's actually a few actors in it that are local Vancouver actors that are like in
Oh,
everything.
okay.
So, and actually one of them was like an acting teacher at UVic, I think, as well. But yeah, I mean, it's
a little wonky too if you stop and listen to them.
Oh yeah, no, they're
yeah.
definitely wonky. So we are going to be passing through the blah 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 blah. Dave is weird. So yeah, basically
Buy those war bonds.
Yeah, buy the war bonds. If not, the Nazis are coming. I totally lost my train of thought. Nazis. On that note, boys, perhaps we should wrap it up, and but we'll come back, of course, next week, which will be our first of whatever. What's
2022.
2022.
It'll be really great. Yeah, it's terrible. Our age is a cruel thing.
Cheapskates.
Actually, one cute. I lost my train of thought again. So it's time to go to bed.
maybe we should do like a New Year's Eve thing if nobody's doing anything.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do that because we're not doing nothing. All right, we'll see you on New Year's, boys and girls. Buy beer and save the world.
And Shane, whatever you do, save that camera because
I will save the camera for New
excellent.
Year's.
It looks amazing.
It's obviously on its way out. But yeah, there we go. I'm gonna sink into the bathysphere. Anyway, as always, Alan, please take us out.